So today we're going to talk about Jason Goes to Hell and this Carolina Kiwi creation head bust. And we're going to go in depth of why I chose this bust and many different things about the movie. This was the first movie in the series released by New Line Cinema. It is a film that not only creates a lot of new lore to this character, but also ignores much of the previous already established lore. Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, was released by Paramount Pictures in 1989 and was a critical and financial failure. So much of a critical and financial failure that Paramount decided they wanted to wash their hands of the series. The new home of Jason Voorhees would be none other than New Line Cinema, the home of Freddy Krueger. Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees were finally under the same roof, so you would think that the epic Freddy vs. Jason crossover would finally happen. Not so fast. Unfortunately, we would not see Freddy vs. Jason for another 10 years after Jason Goes to Hell was released. Nearly 30 years have passed since the release of this movie in 1993, and I think that most people have accepted now that this movie was just a placeholder, something to tide over Jason fans while they hammered out the details of Freddy vs. Jason, and of course make a little money in the process. Beginning with this film, New Line Cinema would prove time and time again that they truly did not care about Jason Voorhees, other than his ability to line their pocketbooks. New Line and series co-creator Sean S. Cunningham did everything in their power to remove Jason's physical presence from the movie. Cunningham, who always resented the story direction taken after the original, he even went to the extent of hiring his son's childhood friend to direct the film if he would, and I quote, keep that damn hockey mask out of the movie. As a result of this, you only see Jason in his true physical form in the opening minutes and the closing moments of this film, as he is blown up by FBI agents in the opening sequence of this movie, as he spends most of the runtime as a demonic lizard-like creature possessing various people, which is part of the problem. Nobody wants to spend 90 minutes watching some random fucking guy walking around supposedly possessed by Jason killing people. They want to see Jason. This film introduces new Voorhees family members that we never heard of until 9 movies in, and a lot of new lore, including a magic dagger, which is the only thing that can kill Jason Voorhees, and only when wielded by a Voorhees family member. There is a lot of weird shit in this movie, including a scene where George Washington Duke from Rocky V shaves a naked man for no apparent reason. Only in America. The Necronomicon is also featured in the film, and apparently the director wanted to introduce a plot line where Pamela Voorhees used the Necronomicon to bring her son back to life. What can I say, people? Cocaine is a hell of a drug. On the flip side, there are some things I really do like about this movie. The Creighton Duke character, I think, is one of the best characters in the entire series. I wish we could have seen more of this character, and I wish we could have seen him in an actual Friday the 13th movie instead of whatever this is. On a side note, the Creighton Duke character was actually brought back in the Roseblood Friday the 13th fan film, a fan film that acts both as a sequel to Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood, and a prequel to Jason Goes to Hell. The character is played by an actor named Jaquint Broden, and he plays the young Duke quite brilliantly. Many of the kills and the gore is top-notch in this film. That tent scene when he impales that woman and splits her in half, fucking brutal. One of the best kills in the entire series. As far as watching this movie in its entirety for my enjoyment, though, honestly, I don't have much use for it. I would much rather just watch the Creighton Duke clips from this movie and the kills from this movie rather than spending my time sitting through the entire film. Well, that just about sums up my thoughts on the film. Now let's talk about this bust. This bust was made by Carolina Kiwi Creation on Etsy. It looks great, was relatively inexpensive, and serves every purpose I need for this bust. There are plenty of unmasked Jason Goes to Hell concept busts out there, and the looks of them seem to be pretty consistent across the board. But since we don't actually see Jason unmasked in the film, I didn't think it was necessary. The owner of the shop seemed very nice and very helpful. He even offered to cut the eyes out and put mesh back in if I wanted to wear it as a mask. I highly recommend them. Lastly, let's talk about Kane Hodder's portrayal of Jason in this film. Not really much to chew on here, as he's barely in the film. This is probably my fourth favorite portrayal of Kane out of the 5, including his video game portrayal. But at least he isn't in space and doesn't look like not one, but 2 separate Power Ranger villains. Thank you for joining me for my video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.